Hello everybody, hello everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. First up in the news, we did it, you did it, I did it, we all bloody did it. But it's only the first step. 35,000 subscribers are now subscribing to this channel, which is crazy really. I mean, I want more, I want a milli, I want 5 milli. But it's a good start to 2021. I know we tried to hit the target back at the end of 2020, but we got there eventually. So I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you that took the time to hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't, now's the perfect opportunity because we're on to the next one, 40,000 subs. I'm not going to keep going on about it until we get closer to it, but it would be lovely to hit that in the next few months if we can. So if you want to stay abreast of all the cycling news, if you want to see the live streams, if you want to see brand new content coming soon, then make sure you're sticking to this channel, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button and hitting that notification bell so you know when we go live with our videos and our live streams. That being said, we've got some amazing news coming up, and first up in the news, it's just a bit of self-promotion, isn't it? Really, just to show off a little bit. Yesterday I completed all 3 group rides on the Tour de Zwift Stage 4 stage. It was hard, it was brutal, I got cramps, it hurt, but I tried to go full gas in all of them. Now if you want to check it out, you can do it up there, but it is a 3-hour stream. It's a bloody long one, but if you want to check it out, it's up there. This was my highlight though. Legs are cramping. Ah! 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 Fuck it! Ah! Ah! Fuck! Ah! 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 No! Oh my god! Ah! Fuck! Ah! Oh my god! Alright, but now let's talk about some proper cycling news. Loads going off in the cycling world at the minute, and the first story, you know me, I'm not necessarily a marketer, but I do appreciate a good advert when I see it. And this advert with Deceuninck Quickstep's Sam Bennett has to be up there as one of the best adverts I've ever seen.
Ah, Jesus Christ. All right, okay, that's enough. That's fine. That's enough. We get the point. It's a bit over the top, isn't it? The outfit and everything. I mean, who do you think you are?
Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett, more like.
I won a green jersey.
You won a green jersey, did you? I won a green jersey, look. Facebook raffle, €10 a ticket.
But I won mine in the Tour de France.
Should have been quizzing in the France. You could do with a few jam donuts.
I'm just lean. It's lean muscle.
Oh, it's lean muscle, is it? Is that why you have straps on your pedals? I can't keep your feet where they're supposed to be. Look at that saddle. Like sitting on the edge of a knife. You couldn't give someone a crosser on that. They take their legs off.
But it's lightweight.
That's a lightweight bike. Look at that. You lift it with 2 hands. You can. Easy. Probably couldn't even pop a wheelie on that. You take off like a sheet of paper. And sunglasses in Phoenix Park. Haven't seen sun in 6 months.
But it's to keep the wind out of my eyes and the gravel.
Oh, is it? Yeah. For when you're travelling at the speed of sound. Give over, will you? Probably cost you a bomb. 50 cents an hour. You could do the Tour de France for 35 quid on this yoke. And it's more comfortable. Look at that for the saddle. Good hard saddle. Not like yours. You have to wear the dirty nappy.
Oh, mate, I don't need this.
On your bike. Talk to you later.
It's not an nappy. It's for comfort.
Keep up, like your boy. You boy.
Yeah, Sam Bennett's acting maybe a little bit wooden, but who am I to judge? The guy can win a green jersey in the Tour de France, so fair play to him, but cracking advert. I do love a bloody good advert. But here's a question. What is your favourite advert with a professional athlete in it? Would it be that one? Or have we got some others in mind? I've seen some crackers from the 80s and the 90s. But leave your comments down below. Best advert containing an athlete. Go! Next up in the news, some big news, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this one. Now, according to Keith Mills, he was the deputy chairman of the 2012 London Organising Committee, he's gone on record on BBC saying that he's unlikely to see the Tokyo 2020/2021 Olympic Games take place. Do it! So talking on BBC Radio 5 Live, he said, looking at the pandemic around the world in South America, North America and in Africa and across Europe, it looks unlikely. If I was sitting in the shoes of the organising committee in Tokyo, I would be making plans for a cancellation, and I'm sure they have plans for a cancellation. I think that they will leave it until absolutely the last minute, in case the situation improves dramatically, in case the vaccinations roll out faster than we all hope. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga declared a state of emergency for Tokyo on January the 7th due to the record number of COVID-19 cases. The emergency is going to remain in place until the first week of February at the earliest. Now, it's obviously not all doom and gloom. It's far from being cancelled just yet. And even Sebco thinks it is going to go ahead. He spoke to Sky News and said, I don't think it will be cancelled. It's going to be a challenge. We know that. It is pretty self-evident that there will be adaptations. But of all the countries on the planet that has the fortitude and resilience to see this through, it's Japan. It's a good job we're not in 2012 when this pandemic hit. That's all I'm saying. After the shit show that's the UK. Anyway, that was me talking, not Sebco. I wake up as a federation president grateful that Japan is dealing with this and not some other places I could think of. Like London. London 2012. Do you think we're paying the price for having some amazing summers over the past decade? 2018, what a summer that was. London, Olympic Games, 2012. I don't know if it's because we were just in England when this was taking place, but come on, man. It was amazing. Sorry, I'm digressing again. The story is that the 2021 Olympics could potentially be cancelled. Now, we all knew that that might have been a possibility. No one really thought it was a possibility. No one really expects it to be cancelled. But here's a question for you. We've seen various different sporting events across the world start again during the pandemic. You've got the NFL, the Premier League, you've got motorcycle racing, F1, you've got cycling. And cycling's probably the only one where fans turned up when they shouldn't have because of the nature of cycling. But what are the Olympics going to be like with no fans? It's almost like they're going to have to put them on for the sake of the athletes. Imagine that a lot of them, it'll be their first and only Olympic Games and potentially their only chance to win a medal. They could be in prime position to win a medal. What's going to happen if the Olympic Games don't go ahead? Not only have they spent 4 years, they've spent 5 years preparing for it. They had the build-up back in 2020 to get ready for the Games back in 2020. And then for all that to shatter in front of them, to then have to regroup and then go again. What's going to happen? You're going to see I don't know what's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of, you could see a lot of athletes with some real mental issues after this. Going so hard for so long, training, focusing on that sole goal, to then not even be able to compete. It's a scary thought. But what are your thoughts? Do you think we should ensure that the Olympics go ahead regardless of whether there's fans, no matter what kind of protection and protocols they have to put in place to make it happen? Is it too big of an event to be cancelled? Look at the Tour de France. I didn't think it was going to go on, and somehow they made that work. So if you can make a travelling circus like the Tour de France work, surely you can make the Olympics. I don't know. But leave your comments down below. Do you think it's going to get cancelled? And if it doesn't, do you think it's going to go ahead? Well, of course it's going to go ahead if it's not cancelled, dickhead. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Next up in the news now, a rider who would not want the Olympics to be cancelled is Remco Evenepoel. But he's not in the news because he wants to win an Olympic medal. He's in the news because he's had to take another 3 weeks off the bike due to his pelvis injury from Il Lombardia not healing the way it should. He's currently out on the Deceuninck Quickstep training camp in Spain, but he's been spending time doing his rehabilitation work. He's been in the gym doing cardio workouts in the pool and not been out on those long rides with his teammates. Now, according to Patrick Lefevre, Deceuninck Quickstep's team manager, he confirmed that Remco Evenepoel is going to be off the bike for a further 3 weeks, saying apparently the growth of the bone did not go as fast as everyone thought. He was in pain, but he did not say that. Silly little boy. He thought that it was part of the rehabilitation in the hospital in Herentals. Yep. We have seen that the pelvis bone is not 100%. Now, someone actually made a comment on, it was either a live stream or a video a couple of days ago about Remco Evenepoel's chances of making a full recovery. And I said, yeah, it was a stream, I think. I said that, listen, if Wout van Aert can come back from the injuries he did, obviously he didn't fall into a ravine, but still he had some serious injuries that could have put a dent in his career and his abilities. He's come back to full strength. And I think Remco Evenepoel is exactly the same. A few years younger than Wout van Aert. He's got time on his side. He's got so much talent that, dare I say, potentially this might actually allow his career to be enhanced for a little bit longer. He's had 3 months off the bike. So again, he's not put his body under that kind of strain. It's not going to take him that long to prepare. He's looking to target the Giro. He's looking to target the time trial at the Olympics as well. But the Giro is the big one, and it's going to be our first indication of just how good Remco Evenepoel can be in those 3-week stage races. Is he going to be fully prepared for it? He's got 3 months. And like I say, a young lad like that, it's not going to take him long to get back into it. He's going to have the full motivation, the full focus, the full dedication to make sure he's doing everything he can in those 3 months to make sure he's prepared for the Giro. But will he be able to do what he needs to do in those final few stages of the Giro without that real big backlog of training in his legs? I don't know. But it must be frustrating for him knowing that everyone else is preparing for the season, getting ready for the races ahead, even though they keep getting cancelled, and him not be able to get on the bike and start getting those miles in the legs. But Remco Evenepoel, is he a GC contender? Is he going to be a GC contender at the Giro? Is he capable of winning that time trial at the Olympics if they go ahead? Do you think this could scupper his chances of really excelling to where we potentially think he could because of this injury? Or do you think he'll, in a few months' time, that injury will fully be healed and he'll not even remember it? It'll just be a long distant memory of falling into that ravine, probably thinking he was going to die at some point. Thankfully he didn't. Leave your comments down below. Next up, I want you to do me a favour right now. Just close your eyes, right? Close your eyes and picture a sunny summer's day afternoon, stage 15 of the Tour de France. The riders are riding through flat fields, just bright yellow fields of, I think it's rapeseed. Is that what they call it in the UK? It's rapeseed here in the UK, I don't know what it's called anywhere else. Anyway, there's a break up the road, the peloton are chasing hard, and in between there's a neutral service car. What colour is that car? It's yellow. But not anymore, because this year neutral service is being taken over on all World Tour and ASO events by Shimano. No longer are we going to see the yellow motorcycles. No more are we going to see those yellow cars with those yellow bikes on top. Mavic went into receivership, obviously, and that's given the chance for Shimano to come through and be the neutral service of choice for this year's Tour de France, which I'm kind of gutted at, really. It was part of the Tour de France. It went with the yellow jersey, for instance. It kind of all fitted that beautiful summery vibe. Yellow jersey, yellow cars, yellow fields of rapeseed. But now it's going to be that blue, and I'm not too sure I'm happy with that. I mean, Shimano's cracking in it. It's a great company. But they've not been part of this for, I think, 44 years. Mavic have had this. So it's a big change. Makes no difference really to the riders or anybody like that, but it's a big change for us watching on TV. It's just going to be strange. I know we've seen Shimano blue cars in other races, but on the Tour de France, it's a big deal. Do you care? Probably not. But leave your comments down below just for engagement. All right, next in the news, it's time for some speculation. It's time for some conspiracy theories here on the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. Hey, by the way, did anyone notice I changed the name of the channel? It's no longer Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. I'll just leave it at that. You can find out for yourself exactly what it is. But anyway, it's time for some conspiracies, and I want as many funny, not offensive, conspiracy theories and thoughts on this story. Mark Hirschi has moved from Team DSM across to UAE. It was a very late deal. It happened in 2021. And according to Cycling Weekly, Mark Hirschi is unable to speak about the deal. And in that story, in a press conference in Dubai, Hirschi said, I can't say too much because of the settlement agreement, but the chance was there. The opportunity was there that I could leave, and now I'm here and I'm really happy, and now we focus on the future with UAE and Team Emirates and focus on next season. It came quite late, but in the end, they, Team DSM and UAE Team Emirates, they found each other and I was really happy. It came late, but it has worked. Now, like we reported when he'd left originally, we said that there's been numerous riders that have left their contract early when it was Team Sunweb, Alpecin, Giant Alpecin, whatever it was called at the time, Giant, what was it called? Alpecin? Well, I don't know. But like when Marcel Kittel left and Tom Dumoulin left, Michael Matthews left, all of them kind of left under a bit of a cloud. Some of them saw the contract out, others were thankfully kind of, I presume, bought out of their contract at some point. But what's the reason here for Hirschi? Hirschi, like they say in the story, is a rising star. Hirschi has got what it takes to take a team to the next level of exposure. So, come on, what are the reasons? What are the reasons why they're not saying? Leave your comments down below and let us know the most obscene, not offensive, but out there conspiracy theories as to why Mark Hirschi had to leave Team DSM. Leave them down below. But we don't want to get sued, so like maybe put an asterisk just saying, this is not true. These are my thoughts. And then give us your thoughts. Next story. All right, and finally in the news, a little bit of a serious story, this one. Over on Wielerflits, they're running with this story here coming out of Cofidis's training camp, running with the headline, Elia Viviani examined for heart problems. In the story, Viviani has prematurely left Team Cofidis training camp in Benidorm. The sprinter has had himself examined for a heart rhythm disorder. When the 31-year-old Italian felt an irregular heartbeat during a training ride last Sunday, he rang the bell, I presume that means a phone, and called a sports doctor specialising in cardiology with whom he already worked with. Cossetti then sent Viviani to hospital in Ancona, where he was examined on Tuesday. He underwent an electrophysiological examination, which is a minor procedure in which tubes and electrodes are placed in the heart to study the electrical activity of the heart muscle. No results have been published yet, and Viviani would probably be released from hospital today. But that's slightly worrying. Now, question for you here, this is one for me and any doctors out there. What's classed as an irregular heartbeat? Like, there are I don't know if this happens to everybody, but there are times when I feel like mine stopped. And then it has a massive like and then goes again. And I never know if that's like something I should go to doctors about, or I don't know, it's weird. Get little like flutters and stuff. Like, do you know when it just all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, just starts beating? I don't know. Maybe I need to go and get myself sorted out. But this is serious for Elia Viviani. It's never happened for me personally during a training session or when I'm exercising. It's only ever when I'm kind of resting or at an easy pace. But for that to happen during training could be a big problem. But thankfully he's picked up on it and he's actually gone and seen a specialist. So fingers crossed there's going to be nothing untoward with this. But it could be, I mean, something like that, if it's a big issue, it's the end of your career. You can't risk trying to go for 6th and 7th places in a sprint if you've got a heart disorder. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth the risk. But fingers crossed, hopefully we will see that he's going to make a full recovery. There's nothing untoward in it. But yeah, Elia Viviani struggling with heart problems. I don't really know what else to say. I could do some more research on heart issues, but I'm not a doctor, but I felt like I needed to tell you because it could be the end of his career. I hope not. Fingers crossed it won't be. Leave your comments down below if you want and let me know if I should go and get myself checked out. I'm fine. I'm all right. That's the end of the news show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now, if you've not done it already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live with our videos. If you dislike the video for whatever reason, hit that dislike button. But above all, leave your comments down below. Don't forget, tomorrow is the Wahoo Le Col fueled by SIS ride over on Zwift. If you want to be part of that, link is down in the description. It's not going to show up on the public domains of Zwift. It is a private event We keep it private, we keep it close so we can engage with each and every one of you on the ride. We're also going to be streaming that so you get an extra dimension of that ride. So if you want to be part of that, make sure you're watching the stream and make sure you get involved and get in that pen for 6:30 UK time tomorrow. We're done here. Thanks for watching.